If you are anything like me, then you are constantly in the trenches trying to find good books to read that are clean, because most of the books that are recommended on BookTube, on Book Talk, on the internet have spice in them. And if you do find books that are clean, then they're so cheesy, the romance feels stiff, and it just doesn't hit right. So let me give you some clean romance book recommendations that I can personally vouch are clean. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Hi, hello, how are you? How has your week been? So Valentine's Day is right around the corner, which means that romance books are on the rise, but most of the popular ones are spicy. So here are some recommendations that are 100% clean. First, we have Float by Kate Marchant. Now, this book follows Waverly, whose parents decide that they don't really want to mess with her for the summer. So they dump her at her aunt's house, who lives in Florida. And there she kind of like makes friends, and she gets a really good friend group very soon after she moves there. And since she is in Florida and she can't swim, she begins taking swimming lessons from the very cute guy who lives next door. I rated this book 4 stars because I really enjoyed that in this book the couple actually really gets to know each other really well. That is one of my biggest pet peeves in books, is when I'm reading a book and the characters meet during the events of the book and you don't really see them get to know each other at all before they're officially dating. Existing friends to lovers, okay, that's a different story. But if the characters meet during the book and you don't see them get to know each other, I find it really hard to believe in the romance personally, so I really enjoyed that you got to see that in this book. But I do wish that the ending of this book was longer. But when do I ever not say that about a book? I always wish the endings were longer. Then we have The Do-Over by Lynn Painter. Emmy is having the absolute worst Valentine's Day ever. She wakes up excited for the day, and on her way to school, she gets into a car wreck with the quiet boy from school, finds out that her boyfriend has been cheating on her, and when she gets home from school, her father tells her he's moving across the country. So when it comes time to go to bed, she is just happy to have the day over with, except when her alarm goes off the next day, she wakes up to find that it is Valentine's Day morning all over again. I rated this book a 4 stars as well. Once again, I loved that the characters really got to know each other in this book, you know, because it is a Groundhog's Day situation. They kind of had to get to know each other every day, and the way that they interact with each other is just so adorable. I love Lynn Painter, and so far the 2 YA books that I have read by her have been clean. So that is a plus. The Bodyguard by Katherine Center. Hannah Brooks is a bodyguard for a living, and she gets an assignment to protect mega popular singer Jack Stapleton because he has maybe been getting some threats on his life. However, he is going to be staying with his family for a while, and he doesn't want them to worry about him and his safety, so he asks Hannah to pretend to be his girlfriend. One reason I really enjoyed this book is because it actually takes place like where I grew up. Like, she's talking about things that I can picture in my mind's eye because I have actually driven past the place that she's talking about, which is so fun because I personally have never read another book that takes place where I grew up. So that was so super fun. But also the tension was so good, you know, because it's fake dating and there's always tension with fake dating. And the acts of service from Jack was just impeccable. Loved it. I rated this a 5 stars. Then we have Counting Miracles by Nicholas Sparks. Tanner Hughes has always been a roamer. He's never really felt like he fit in anywhere. He's never had a brick and mortar place to call home. And especially now with the recent death of his grandparents. And so he decides in the wake of their deaths that he is going to travel to Asheboro, North Carolina to find his biological father, who he never knew. When he gets there, he meets Caitlin, who immediately catches his eye. But while all that is happening with Tanner and Caitlin, we also have Jasper, who lives by himself in the woods with only his dog for company, and he is constantly haunted by the tragedies of his past. I rated this book 5 stars, okay? I cried while reading the last little bit of it. And if you do read this book, you need to read the author's note at the end. I'm typically not the person to read the acknowledgements, the dedication, author's notes, but I'm so glad that I read the author's note of this book because reading Nicholas Sparks talking about the inspiration for this novel and the message that's behind it really just made the impact of the book that much more. But this book has definitely changed my mind about Nicholas Sparks. Finally, let's talk about the Sweater Weather series. I discovered this series in about September, and it's 7 books, and each book is written by a different author. I personally have read the first 3 books in this series and the last book in the series, so I can tell you with 100% certainty that those 4 books in particular are 100% clean. It's Just Don't Fall, The Fallback Plan, Can't Help Falling, and Absolutely Not in Love. I think it says on Amazon that they're a closed door series, but with the 4 that I have read, I can say that they are clean. Each book centers around a different trope, and it's called like a fall-themed romance series, but it's not really that much centered around fall, but it's small town and they are absolutely adorable, and the men in these books are always so down bad for the girl, and I absolutely love it. I love these books. They all have me giggling and kicking my feet, and I cannot wait to read the rest of the books in the series. But another great thing that I found from finding this series was that it's basically like a recommendation of 7 authors whose books I'm pretty sure are going to be clean. Since reading this series, I read a couple of Christmas books from some of the authors, in particular Courtney Walsh and Melanie Jacobson, and they were all clean. So that's great, you know, I have 7 new authors that I can go check out anytime I'm looking for a clean romance. So those are my current clean romance book recommendations. I have appreciated all of the love on my clean book recommendations video that I posted back in July, so I wanted to give y'all more of what you want. And so here we have this video, but I'm also planning on making several more videos of clean book recommendations in the future. Some like clean fantasy. I'm currently working on a clean sports romance because sports romance books are never clean, okay? They're always spicy. But that is all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoy this type of content. Comment down below any clean book recommendations that you want to share with others, and subscribe to my channel for more bookish content in the future. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.